What is going on, everyone? My name is Maarten vanKooy, and welcome to a Khaz and Effect video / live stream. I'm recording this live, but this video is just going to be all about teaching you how to get started in Worlds Adrift. I don't have a crazy ship right now because the last time I played I got destroyed by stingrays. And it was a pretty badass ship, but this is what we got right now. This is more of a kind of, you know, you've done a little bit of exploring, you've gotten a few schematics, you've unlocked some crucial pieces, oh god, like the engines and everything like that. But in this stream, I'm going to start things fresh. We're going to build a new ship, salvage this ship to show you guys the perfect ship that you're going to want to start your game. So without further ado, let's land the sucker. We're gonna salvage it for parts, and I'm gonna show you guys how to make a brand new ship. So let's head on down. Let's find an island to get to. Oh shit. All right, we landed this puppy. Ah, stingrays! Get away from my ship, you bastards. Alright, so the first thing that you want to do when you land on a new island and you want to build your ship, or whether you're starting or coming to a new island, you always want to build the bottom of your ship, or not the... You always want to be building your shipbuilding stuff, like your shipbuilding set. All the land-based stuff, you want to be made out of heavier materials like lead. You're going to come across a lot of lead, and it's not very good to use in your ship because it weighs down the overall weight. So the ship's going to stay down here, and we're going to go around and see if we can't find any lead to help make this ship a to basically get the ship off the ground, or to make a new ship that we can find. Man, there is literally nothing on this island. This island is a beautiful blue. When you first start, oh, look at that, we got some iron. Iron's a very good metal for building your ship parts because iron's very durable and is very lightweight. It's kind of like nickel in that way. Very valuable resources. You're also going to want to be looking for these trash bins here, as I like to call them, these treasure chests, and get these because you're going to use the knowledge that you gain from these little things. I might have already scanned it. But you're basically going to use the knowledge that you got from here, right here, so you can unlock more schematics. I've got 135. I need a rare engine if I'm going anywhere. So yeah, grab some more crap. Hopefully we'll get some lead. Cannon shells. Can I salvage these? No, I don't have a cannon on here anyway. See if we have this knowledge. We already have it. What's interesting about this game is, as I said, I am trying to find lead so that I can build this ship the way that I want it to be built. But every part affects the ship drastically, the way that you use it. So there are certain walls that you want to get through, like the sand wall or the wind wall. And the sand wall you can only go through with conductive parts, or else your ship is going to essentially crash and burn. How much iron did we? Didn't get any lead, but we got lots of iron for some reason. The first thing you need is your shipyard. Your shipyard is crucial in building your ship. Like I said, you really want to be making this stuff out of lead, but just because there isn't any on this island, and it's likely that there might not be any on your island either when you start, because it's pretty random, you can kind of just use whatever, you know, miscellaneous materials you have. So I'm going to check my ship and see what I have for miscellaneous useless materials that we're not going to use for the bulk of the ship. But there are some materials that you don't really need for early game, so I guess I might as well show you those from in here. Alright, what else do I have in terms of useless materials? I've got a lot of nickel. Steel is probably is a pretty good one, but I don't use copper a lot in my day-to-day builds, so we'll use this on my ground stuff. But copper will be kind of important late game when you are trying to get through the electrical walls, the storm walls. So we'll build part of this out of this material. Actually, it looks like we could build it all out of it. So let's build the shipyard in my inventory. And Alright, so like I said, you really want to be using lead for these materials for your shipyard and your assembly station. It's durable, but it's heavy, and you don't want to use heavy materials on your ship. So let's place this here on top of this friendly mountain, little hill here. The ship is close enough that it should just get sucked right on there. Alright, so this is very important, guys, because I made this mistake a lot early on in the game. When you build your assembly station, this being the part that builds your ship parts for you, you really want to have it on flat land, or else your parts will roll away from you. If they happen to roll out of this little bubble that has now been lovingly placed around their ship, you cannot pick it up. So you're really going to want to have this in an area with lots of space, so that you can build the parts you want, and so that it won't just fly away into the nether below you. So because I already have a ship, I can't make a new ship until I've taken off all these parts. So I'm gonna make a nice little pile, hopefully a very organized pile. Alright, so now that we have our ship all naked and stripped bare, a very important thing that you can do if you're just salvaging a ship is you could salvage the frame. We're going to take everything from it, and now we have all the materials that we made it from. So it looks like I made it out of birch. That should be enough wood to rebuild it here. I would think so. Okay, so when you're building your first ship, this is the real important, the meat potatoes. You're likely going to be building a dinghy, so you're going to want to edit all this stuff out. Once you click edit, it'll pop up behind this window here. You hit escape, and then you have your schematic. So here you can see the schematic for what I had before. Look at those majestic stingrays flying by. Before we had the, this is the schematic from the ship before, but if you're building a new ship just for one person, you're going to want to do this because you're going to be very limited in your supplies on this new island. So you're going to want to build the ship in a way that's intensive to supplies, so you're not just like basically starved for resources trying to get off this island. There are a bunch of things you can do. You don't necessarily have to have it double wide. You can get creative here. You can have it short. You can have it short and tall. You can really do anything you want with it. I've never built a tall ship before, but you can, as I said, do anything with it. You could build up. But this is really about how many resources you have to work with. And I would suggest just for your first ship, keeping it simple like this. A 2-block, nothing too serious, takes a few resources. You're going to want to save it. Once you hit save, you can see the amount of resources that it's going to take. It looks like I didn't get enough wood from recycling this, and I didn't take the wood out of my chest when I did this. So we have an opportunity here to build the ship entirely out of metal, and I'll show you what I mean in terms of how things are weighed differently. So you'll see here when I put the nickel in, it tells me that the ship is 55.2 kilograms in weight, whereas if I do it with iron, oh, let me get that out of there. Whereas if I do it with iron, it'll be 45. So we've shed 10 kilograms. If we do that for enough things on this ship, it can really protect it. So we're going to build the beams of this ship out of the, I believe we're going to use nickel as our main decks, just because it's a little bit more durable. And we'll use our beams out of iron. And that's what we'll do from there. So you're going to hit craft, and you're going to want to wait a second. You can see your ship being created there. Grab up onto the bubble. This bubble both protects you from being looted and raided, and it also protects you from it also allows you to build some cool stuff. It makes it a little easier to build. Also, a great tip for building is building in first person, which can be achieved by pressing V. So now that we've got this beautiful ship, you can see the metal we use. It's got this nice little shine to it. That's because we used the nickel. We'll get back to that angle. There we go. You can see the nice shine of the metal. And you can see that the bars are a little bit less vibrant. They're gray, they're very bland, and that's just because of the type of metal we use. So the type of metal you use really does influence the outcome of the vehicle. If you have a bigger ship, you're going to need a crew. You're going to have more people doing more things, whether that's fueling, steering, being, you know, just aware, navigation, everything like that. But on a small ship, you want to be able to do all of that yourself. So the best advice that I can give you, especially right off the bat, is you're going to want to build a sail. And we already have a sail here, but a sail takes 200 wood. And pretty much any piece of wood will work for the sail. I would recommend that you don't use oak. Oak is the one exception to that, because oak is the heaviest of all the woods. It is very durable, but this sail will weigh you down. It is so damn heavy that it's gonna suck. I also recommend, before you do all of this, before you start building beyond where I'm at right now, you're going to want to build a chest. And you'll probably already have the schematic for a chest just from exploring things. But to build a chest, you go into utility, and there you can build a chest. And you're going to want to build this chest somewhere around your base so that you can go off, collect minerals and resources, put them there so that you can just put those all into building new ship parts, and you'll do that all from here. And we'll explain that a little bit further once we get the basics of the ship. So we're about to put in the sky core, and I guess we might as well look at the assembly station if we're going to do that. And it's labeled under its own area, Atlas Sky Core. It's pretty expensive on the resources. It's going to cost you 100 metal. And again, I would recommend you use iron for this all the way. Nickel's a good option as well, but I would go with the iron. And that's why you're going to want to collect this little guy, because the little guy's going to go in the Atlas shard, and that's what allows you to get some lift. And here's a very, very good trick that I learned. And I really like this trick. I get lots of use out of it. It's very important. It'll give you more space on your ship. So you're only allowed one Atlas core. Oh shit. You're only allowed one Atlas core on your ship. And the best way to use it, in the early stages at least, you're not going to be getting attacked a lot. And if you do get attacked, you're likely going to be attacked from behind. So from the front of your ship, you're going to want to put this little Atlas core. I'd say this is pretty good. About, try to center it. So even though we're not able to build on this, this actually will extend the front of your ship, which will make it easier for you to get on and off your ship. And because it's not in the rear, you don't have to worry about stingrays, because stingrays will 9 times out of 10 attack you from behind. And this way you can leave this as a kind of an area just kind of to defend against the stingrays. Speaking of, here they go. So we've got the sail, we've got the Atlas core. What else do you need to get this ship moving? Well, the next thing you're going to do once you have both of these are you're going to want to build your steering wheel, essentially. Now, this is in your basics, and it's called the helm. And the helm's interesting because it changes based on what you build it out of. So if I make the casing out of wood, I'll show you here with the little amount of iron that it'll take. We'll go out there and we'll look at my current helm. But as you can see, my current helm, buried under all this stuff, it's made entirely out of iron. Maybe a little bit of steel in there. Where this, because the casing is made out of wood, it's not as thick. It's longer than it is fat. You can have 2 helms on your ship, but I prefer just to have the one. I like the shape of the metal one better, just personally. A little wider, a little more clunky, but I just like the look of it a lot better, if you're asking me. All right, so there we go. We got this mounted up at the front. Looking pretty fresh so far. Now, a very crucial thing for everybody's ship is you need a revive, a respawn apparatus. So I guess before we get to the respawner, you will want to do the respawner first, to be honest with you. And I'll explain to you why when we get to the respawner. But we'll move on to the walls while we clean up some of this clutter. Walls you want to make out of your cheap materials. Again, so like iron. Oh my god, something's happened. It was probably because I was standing on it, to be honest with you. Did we get it up there? Alright. So now we got some walls on here. This is going to further protect our core. And you really want to protect the core. Again, first person mode makes it a lot easier to edit for you. And if you didn't catch it the first time, the button for first person mode is V. Alright, so there we are. We're going to put this on the back in hopes of protecting the rear end of the sail, because you will get attacked by stingrays and they will try to destroy everything. And it sounds like I'm about to get my ass attacked by a stingray. Yep, you will get attacked. And that's why you need your personal reviver on the ship. At this point, oh my god, it's like it's taking my corpse away. Why does this look like a different island? No way! No way! How did I end up on this island? The island I was on before was blue. That's the island we were from. That is our home island. Okay, this sucks. Holy crap. If this thing flies, oh my god, this is like world's smallest ship over here. Holy crap. I've never built a ship this small. Never, ever have I built a ship this small. I guess the reviver can go there. Onward! Alright, let's boogie. So make sure you register to your reviving apparatus. It's very crucial. You're going to want to make sure you're on it, or else you will do what I just did and respawn on an entirely different island and have to make your way back over here. I didn't know this at the time when I came to this island, but there were no respawners. If you are starting a new game on a new island, there will be respawners on the island. So it won't be that hard for you to find your ship, but you are definitely going to want to prioritize building that. Okay, so now that we've got the basis for our beginner little ship here, we're going to want to start adding the important things like the wings and everything like that. So the way that you place your wings actually does make an impact. For instance, if you have your wings pointed straight down, it allows you to turn, it allows you to pivot in perfect circles. Whereas if you have your wings to the side, it allows you to pull up and pull down. You can meet in the middle sometimes as well. So that's what I like to do. I like having my wings at the back usually. Makes it a little easier to hop on. Boom. Alright. Now, when you start this game, you will not have wings at this level. You're going to have to find these wings. I didn't find these wings. I happened to just build into them. I'm pretty close to getting a new set of wings, but I'm actually saving up to get into these exotic engines right now. So you're going to want to put these here. Make sure they're somewhat even, because having an unbalanced ship actually does affect the way it flies. Look at that. Our ship is looking fantastic so far. We've got our rear wings, which will allow us to stay stable. And that's really all you're going to need for your beginner ship. At this point in the game for you, as I said, you will not have wings like this. But you will be able to build the basics that I have on this ship. Like the sail, the reviver, the helm. You're going to have the sky core. You won't have lockers, but you will have barrels. And barrels do the exact same the lockers do, the exact same thing the lockers do, except they just hold less. This is just a better version of lockers. You might even start with chests instead of lockers. So this is really what your basic ship is going to look like. It looks like I have an extra part, so I'm going to use that extra part to build something that will hopefully keep the stingrays out. And look at this, guys, because we set up our reviver, we won't have to go that far. Boom, there we are. We'll be right on the helm of the ship, hanging out. So let's put on the finishing touches with what I do have. This very much is a team-based game, but this ship that I'm building right now is for flying solo. So this is basically a tutorial on how to build a ship for flying solo. All right, now we've got a bit of protection against falling off the back, which does happen a lot more than I'd like to admit. We got that. Let's organize this. Got lots of birch, lots of wood. I use birch a lot for building. Birch is my favorite wood to build with. I talked a lot about the metal materials that are good for building with, but ash, elm, and birch are the best. Oak is absolutely garbage. Oak is trash. You will barely use oak, except for those in a pinch situations where you absolutely need to leave the island because there's no other resources, and sometimes that happens. So if you're struggling to find any of the resources that you need, just build a small ship, sail to the next island. All right, so we've got this. Let's test out our new baby and take it over to the next island because I'm sick of this place. Would you just look at that? Another thing you can do to make sailing a little easier is you can move your sail up to the front and have two on either side. That way you don't have to get off your helm to go back and activate the sail. But yeah, let's move on to another island and see what we can find. Yeah, this is something that I forgot to do while we were here on the island. But while you're building your ship, something important to consider is the weight of your ship. And it would show it usually in this area. Once your ship surpasses that weight, oh geez, it's just flying away. Once your ship surpasses that weight, you will not be able to take off. So it's very important to watch your weight, which is why I mentioned those materials before. You want the strongest and lightest materials so that you can have basically the most ship that you can have. We are at a proper height though. Want to make sure that we don't crash into that wall. Alright, so we might actually crash here. This is going to be tricky. This is why it's hard having a ship just one person. Oh god. And we're going to want to drop, steer the ship a little bit. And there we go. Alright, so the wings on this ship look a little ridiculous just because they're such high level. But this is really what you're going to want to go for when it comes to building your first ship. Okay, guys? You're going to want to keep it simple, short, sweet, a small ship that can hold the bare necessities like the sail. And you're probably going to want a little space internally just to hang out. So, guys, that was the little video. That was it. I think we got a good little ship going here. A really cool thing that you can do in this game, which it's nice to build a lighter ship, because if you have a lighter ship, you can actually pull your ship in closer to you. And this is why I recommend building a small ship for your starter ship, just because it makes it easier for one person to kind of pull it around. You don't have to be on the ship to get it to do something cool. But yeah, guys, that's it. But guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. That is my tutorial on how to build a small ship for Worlds Adrift. Honestly, if you're playing on your own, it's a pretty cool game, but the game is meant to be played with others. And hopefully this little ship design will help you find more people to join you in your pirate conquests. We're going to continue streaming here and messing around, exploring some new islands. So guys, if you enjoyed this video and you're looking for some more Worlds Adrift, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because we do live stream this game quite often here on Khazi Games. And it'll be nice to see you guys out there in the chat, just like we've had Delizard and Ray as well chatting around. So guys, hopefully you guys don't run into the same difficulties that I ran into building a ship. And hopefully this helps you get off an island pretty quickly. And always, guys, remember, do this first, because it really sucked having to get over here in an entirely different ship. All right, guys, so thank you so much for tuning into the live stream, or thank you guys so much for watching this video. And for Khazi Games, my name is Maarten vanKooy. Happy sailing, and thank you for watching. Peace out, guys.